A Goob working UFOs?
Need some advice, Rockhead. Make sure you get drunk or hit a stick of PCP before you go.
You saw Alien?
Yeah. Light your blunts. Get your drinks. The show's about to begin. Welcome to the Goob Show. We got Pomona in the building. Talking about the aliens, we talk about the crib. Talking about the gang banging, talk about the prison. Whatever's on the mind, we can start this new edition. The Goob Show. We got Pomona in the building. Talk about the aliens, we talking about the crib. Talking about the gang banging, talking about the prison. Whatever's on the mind, we can start this new edition. The Goob Show. The back of the moon and Stonehenge, and niggas in the prison with wounds from straight edge. UFO sighters in Area 51, crippin' in Pomona. At times it wasn't fun. The Goob Show. Montereyers, please get the haters. We ain't got time for them. Only talk about the craters in the moon, the flying aliens in the zone. If aliens are listening, I smoke like Cheech and Chong. Tell me about your people and I'll tell you about Pomona. Shout out to Kev Mac Videos, that's my homie. I be the king real, this the circle when we chosen. This is the new edition of the hottest show, we own it. The Goob Show. We got Pomona in the building. Talking about the aliens, we talk about the crippin'. Talking about the gang banging, talk about the prison. Whatever's on the mind, we can start this new edition. The Goob Show.
Shouts to them niggas that said I would never be shit. Flow so cold, when I spit I got them seasick. They can't see me, they should focus more. I do it to the roof gone like a dog with no vocal cords. Keep a magazine in case I have to show a boy trip. I had you bagged up like you from the grocery store. I'm 42, they need me more than they hate me. The streets ain't safe, so the burner don't got a safe. They tell me don't do it, but I don't never learn. Put that fire to your head, and I ain't talking about no perm. Ain't nobody gave me shit. Anything I got, I earned. Yeah, I got them slick words, but I'm really about them birds. And I still be on them curbs like an hourglass shaped bitch. When I move to work, I hustle hard like it's game 6. Real nigga, I don't fake shit. Never. No squares in my circle, stay the same, never shake shit. 1 for the homies, 2 for the liquor, 3 for the cheese, ½ for the switches. We gon' add this money, divide these bitches. And if we have to, we gon' subtract these niggas. 1 for the homies, 2 for the liquor, 3 for the trees, ½ for the switches. We gon' add this money, divide these bitches. And if we have to, we gon' subtract these niggas.
These my niggas, that's how we rulin' this shit. Running, smoking blunts, pumping pump, and punkin' chumps. That's how we doing that shit. Fucking niggas up, fucking niggas up real bad.
The hearts of man be coated in icicles. What you need a hug, what you need a little tickle. I keep loose change, you know I keep a nickel. Play the 4-5 that'll have your hospital. Blow the whistle. On the plane, this not a bounce, he working for the DA. Trying to get a deal, fake hating on the real. You know I'm trying to eat, you know, stack a few meals. I'm alright, I ain't sick, the flow's ill. Run circles on the track, I don't treadmill. Bring the shit to life, most time it gets killed. You in the presence of a G, so respect Neil. Don't put your life in jeopardy. Fear factors when you're face in front of the semi. Family's view when your wheels cost a fortune. And I'm focused, man. Machine in motion. Don't drill. Ain't nobody else spitting this. Down to come from the shoulders in the hill. Let us each wood grain on the wheel.
I got sucker repellent on me, homie. Now what you saying? I represent the city, Pomona, no we ain't playing. Why you looking mad? Cause your baby mama a fan? I don't do the perkin', no baby, I don't do Zans. I was pushing down Gary, headed right to the turf. These niggas looking shady, could tell they was on alert. Then I hit the USA, cause I know the clerk. Used to be at All-Star 2, we sold the work. I keep money on my mind and all my niggas do. Fly in with a gang, yeah, we the fucking truth. Mafia bros from the Dre, this ain't nothing new. And when I step up in the spot, these niggas better move. Yeah, a blind nigga said he see me on the top. A deaf nigga said he heard this when it's drop. I'm a guy that don't stop from the cream when the crop. Janitor, pop up on the scene with a mop. I get green from about, they on my D by the flock. In the trap, what you need, homie? Tree or the rock, don't get seen by the cops. And you gotta pay the game to put your feet on this block, nigga. Don't trip, don't trip. Ain't nobody else bustin' like this. That's why your bitch tryna function with the crib. Keep some blue tips loaded in the clip. Don't trip, don't trip. Ain't nobody else spin like this. politicking, niggas sticking to the script. That's why your bitch tryna fuck you with the cribs.
Don't trip, don't trip. No. Ain't nobody else spitting like this. Down to come from the shoulders and the hip. Leather seats, wood grain on the whip. Don't trip, don't trip. No. Ain't nobody else spitting like this. Down to come from the shoulders and the hip. Leather seats, wood grain on the whip.
Welcome to the Goob Show. I am Goob. We got a Back of the Moon show tonight. Appreciate everybody that stopped through. Boy Omar come in. We're going to talk about a little something. Got a few videos for people to watch. Of course, that's what we do. We're going to talk a little bit about different things that's going on as far as what's in the skies. If China is doing certain experiments, they are already trying to get a rocket or something to get to us. But yeah, I don't know if my notifications ain't going out. So I give it a little time for some people to come in. Wait for the homie Omar to come in. Not sure how many people had Georgia to win yesterday, but they definitely pulled that off. My Steelers, of course, we in the playoffs. Thanks to the Chargers and the Raiders. I didn't care who won, but I'm glad the Raiders didn't take a knee. I just knew that's what they were going to do. I was doing a live talking about the same, that's what they were going to do. Take a knee and tie it up. They had many chances. To keep it close. But from the beginning, I knew they was going to get close to a tie. I knew. I was telling the people that was on live with me that they was going to tie. When they made that 2-point conversion and they put it to 7, I knew they was going to score and tie. For whatever reason, they called that timeout. I think the Raiders would have just said, F it. Had their tailback not gotten that first down and ran it, I think if they would have went to 4th down, they would have probably punted it. And in San Diego, I'm sure they had in their mind, man, we both going. We ain't got a chance. Cowboys say, I don't like the new playoff format. The 1 seed will play the winner of the 2-7. Yeah. We got the 2. We got Kansas City. So, but I already said we going to the Super Bowl. Shout out to my boy Kev Mack gave me we bet. I told him we going to the Super Bowl. He said if we go to the Super Bowl, he'll come out to the Super, because I'm gonna have a Super Bowl party. I had one just about every time they went to the Super Bowl after 96, 2000. Or if I didn't make it to the Super Bowl, he was going to take over my show. So, shit, for me, the way my ratings is and the slow moving with my UFO thing, that'll be a jump. And he has all open if we don't make it to the Super Bowl. But I believe we're going to make it to the Super Bowl. I think I seen Omar coming in. I said Tennessee would take it far before the season. Henry emergency may put them in the Super Bowl. Or we might see them in the AFC Championship. I think my personal view is that they may have Pittsburgh, and the Raiders going to the AFC Championship. I'm not sure what the years. I should have looked it up before I even spoke, but and this last one was the AFC champion against the Steelers, Immaculate Reception. So they may want to get it back there. That's what I'm hoping, that we at least get there. I don't care about nobody else. I ain't getting no notified. I just pulled up. Appreciate you, Dana. Yeah, I'm not sure how many people got the notification, but it's all good. I got a nice little live. You know, I got a lot of videos. Like I say, I don't do a lot of this for anybody that's not interested in this here. I just want people to understand when they look at this and see what I'm talking about. If they ever do see it, I just want them to say that Goob's, you know, I'm letting you know from a hood person standpoint, not a scientist or anybody else like that. And shout out to Secure Team 10 and UFO Sightings Daily. They have a lot of videos enlightened me for years on end, you know what I'm saying? But I like to put a twist to it. I like to put music to mine when you're looking at the videos or whatnot. Just has something to it when I add little videos. But, you know, a lot of them, you know, eventually I'll start getting people to send me theirs. My boy Omar has one that he sent me. I showed you guys on another program. My homeboy, he said his mom had some they're supposed to send to me, but I haven't talked to him in about 4 months. I wish he sent me. But without further ado, let me bring my homie Omar in.
What's up, brother?
What's good with you, Omar?
Man, I was just trying to change the scenery up for you, but it's not really a good look. You can't see my... Oh, let me go.
Fish tank?
Yeah, I got my little...
Okay.
Puffer, my little puffer fish over here. Look, he following me up. They smart.
Oh, okay.
They supposed to be as smart as dogs. I don't know, but I was
Is
just
that
trying.
right?
Yeah, that's just a small 150 gallon, 130 gallon or something like that tank. And then I got another one that I'm about to put together. That's gonna be a 250 gallon tank because you know me and you, we in the fish tanks and all sorts of other stuff. So.
My lights went out.
Huh?
My lights went out. I gotta go get some lights for the top of it.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's dark, but I got two the yellow jacket and fuck, I can't even remember what other fish I had. But I got two different sets of fish, but we didn't have them for so long. I don't even mess with them. That's more the kids or the wife doing
right
now. You know what I'm saying? So what you been up to, man, since last week? I ain't talked to you since last week.
You know what, man? When you in this game, you got to do your homework. Like it's important to do your homework, and a lot of people, because it don't hit the mainstream media, it's like a blink and you'll miss it. You know what I'm saying? So you really got to stay on things like a Secure Team 10. You really got to stay on, like they say in the Men in Black movies, you kind of got to look through the funny papers to see the real stuff, and then dissect it and make sure that it's not BS. You know what I mean? But if you keep your ear to the ground, you will definitely.
Right.
I mean, you know what? It's almost like the streets. You know, when you in the streets, you be a part of two different cities. Like the gangbangers know what's going on, who killed who, what happened. But then you got the layer above the street dudes that are the civilians, and the civilians have no idea. It's like they living in two different cities, and that's what this UFO business is like. It's like you got the civilians that don't really know what's going on, And then you got people like us that keep our ears to the street, and then the civilians are like, well, why didn't I hear about anything?
Right,
Why didn't
right.
I know who got shot at the party? Well, you're not in that world to know.
Bro.
But if you
Right.
decide to pay attention and you put interest
Right.
into it, then it's really easy to find out. You know what I mean? It's really easy to go, oh, okay, well this is here. So that's where that's where I'm at, man. I just when I don't talk to you from Tuesday to Tuesday, my head is down, and I'm oh, it's supposed to be hit the like button.
Right.
Got you, Smiley.
Yeah, hit that like button.
Right. Is I keep my head down from Tuesday to Tuesday,
Right, right.
researching, seeing what else I can learn, because when you think you know everything, that's when you dead. You know what I'm saying? There's
Right.
always something new to find out. So, I mean,
He said hit the like button. He
right.
said that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
We
he missed the
understood.
K
We
out.
understood. We understood, and we appreciate you.
um, Before I even get into these videos, I wanted to bring up. I forgot to put them up. So many different. Remember we were talking about the pyramids, and we were speaking on. They saying not blacks ain't made it or did it, and I say they
Right.
had help, right?
Right.
But there's pyramids in Mexico that also have the same building as Orion's belt, as does the Great Pyramids of Giza. The three in that line, they both line up.
Do you want to know the truth of that? Do you want to know the truth, like
Go
the
ahead.
honest to God's truth to that?
Go ahead.
Okay, so there's a black man by the name of Ivan Van Sertima who wrote a book called They Came Before Columbus. And in the book
right.
They Came Before Columbus, he expresses that black people was trading with South America well before Europeans and Vikings traversed the Atlantic Ocean to get to the Americas. In fact, you get corn in Africa because corn was grown in South and Central America. So there was an exchange in things like corn and things like tobacco. And there was an exchange of goods and ideology. And when those black people sailed over there, once they started showing these other civilizations how to build, they looked at these black people as gods, which is why California is named California after a black woman, Queen Khalifa. And Queen Khalifa is actually a female caliphate, right? Which is what is in Islam. So California is really technically named after a black woman because we were worshipped as not gods, but divine beings. So if you ever get your hands on that book, as a matter of fact, when I come down to you, I will bring it because I believe I have it.
Okay.
He gives an explanation as to the fact that we've been traveling there on the same current that the slavers used. There's a current of warm water in the Atlantic where when you catch this current, you don't even have to have sails. You don't even have to have rows. You can catch this current and your boat will go all the way from Africa to the Americas in the South Atlantic Ocean. Now, this is also the same current where hurricanes come from and tornadoes come from, and people think that this is God showing his anger because of, this was the same route that they took to bring the slaves to the Americas, but that's not true. This current has been there since the beginning of time, and our people were seafaring people, so much so that, as you probably remember from your high school studies, the Nile, as they used to tell us, they don't tell these kids this nowadays, the Nile changed directions. The Nile changed, which way the stream was going, and it was up to the Egyptians to figure out where the Nile was going to be for the next year so that they knew where to plant their crops.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we traded.
I'm gonna hold that question that you finish, and then you can answer what Cal was
The biggest lie was the lie of antiquity, the lie that all of these people in North Africa were white and from the Ptolemaic period, they never took over Egypt by way of just battle. No, they did it through the dirty priests. Once again, priests were dirty. People used religion. They went and they paid the priests. The priests showed them how to get into the temples. They told them how to kill Pharaoh. And that's how they got around it, because the Egyptian soldiers was, guess what? The Egyptian soldiers was taught by the Ethiopians. The Ethiopians had a warrior so cold. You know that, what's that movie with Brad Pitt in it? That's from the book, the Iliad and Homer and all that kind of stuff. Troy, the movie Troy. Well, what they don't tell you in that movie is there was the king of Ethiopia who had all the wealth. Memnon. Memnon was on par with Achilles, and he was considered a god. And when Hector was killed, they put word out. The Trojans put words out to the Ethiopians because Troy fell under the protection of the Ethiopians. But they keep that part out of the book because they don't want you to know who you are, where you come from, and what your royalty is. As long as they can keep us acting stupid, and as long as they can keep us not creating enough currency for the economy, as you and I talked about before the show started, Black people are responsible for $300 billion a year of America's economy, which sounds like a lot, but when compared to the $2 trillion that's generated by the Latino community, it's just a drop in a bucket. And that's why nobody writes laws for us. Writes laws for us because our dollar amount, what we spend, is insignificant, and it's insignificant because we have never in the history of this country gone above 14.1% of the population.
Right.
So that's really what that is. They learned it from us. You know what I'm saying? And the Latino community didn't have a problem with us. The whole story of the Alamo was fought because when the president of Mexico allowed Americans to move into Texas, they said no slavery and that Black people could own land. Then after that, those same white people who settled Texas went back to the United States and said, hey man, we need your help. They want us to get rid of our slaves. And the United States said, no, we can't help you. You in a foreign country. So that whole remember the Alamo bull BS. The Alamo and Davy Crockett and how they stood their ground and fought off these Latinos, these Mexican men, and then they made movies about it in Hollywood about how they fought off these rowdy Mexicans. That whole thing was about these white people didn't want to give up their slaves, and Mexico was allowing Black people to settle parts of Texas, and the white people was going in saying, you can't have land next to my land, and they was just taking the land from the Black people. You know what I'm saying? So we have a history of, even today, when you watch a movie on ancient Egypt, everybody's white.
Right.
Come on
they
now.
Made you remember that one that they made, what was it, Chariots or something with, dude, I think did he win an Oscar for that shit? He was on a chariot thing. They was fighting. Damn, what's the name of the movie?
A whole bunch of it. Could have been Ben-Hur. It could have been Gladiator, Ben-Hur.
I think it was Ben-Hur. Ben-Hur.
Yeah, Spartacus.
Yeah, all I had to hear the name.
Come on, man. Elizabeth Taylor would not have been able to survive in Egypt.
Hey, look at here.
Nothing like the Queen.
Let me show you something.
Go ahead.
This is Tutankhamun off the Anunnaki. That's King Tut. Right.
Who died when he was 18 years old. He was poisoned.
That's Nefertiti.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Look at her head shape, like the Anunnaki.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But what color are they? They not made them in the, even when they sculptured them. You see what I'm saying? And that's why so many Africans, like here, they do their heads like that.
Yeah.
In the place of the Anunnaki. You know, and those are the same people that was building those pyramids, but they had some kind of help. And that's what I was getting at.
Absolutely.
What do you see?
You
You see what I'm
absolutely.
saying? But let's look what Cowboy said. Cowboy asked you a question. He said, "Go ahead. Can you see it?"
Dropping a nuclear bomb on Mars to terraform the planet. Okay. Now, who's gonna be down there to push the button? I mean, even if you set a timer, you have to understand that has to be so. If you want to set a nuclear bomb off on Mars to terraform the planet, that whole theory comes from the fact that there's ice under Mars and Mars used to have running water. You would have to drill and put that nuke down inside the planet. You have to figure out where to put it. Then you have to detonate an explosion. And I think the fact that conventional wisdom, by what we know we have in the press and what we don't know that we have in the press, man, we have to be able to get to Mars first, right? According to them.
Right.
We can't get to Mars.
No.
Not with humans.
We trying, but we don't have like I said, that's why they had those twins. One of the twins went up to the space station and stayed a year. And they tried to find out their body, how long they could last. Well, people fail to realize if something's 20 light years away, that means it takes them 20 years to get to that planet. It would take 20 years for us. Our body can't handle being in space for no 20 years right now. We ain't figured out that technology to do that.
A trip to Mars, depending on where it is in our lunar cycle, in our solar cycle, is 3 to 5 months just to get there to prepare to land. Okay.
Right.
Now, let's talk about getting there and landing. Do you know you're going to have at least 10 years worth of stuff on Mars because there's no McDonald's? You're not hopping out like I'm gonna give me a ultimate cheeseburger. Your Jack in the Box is not there.
No.
You see what I'm saying? So you would have to send food, supplies, shelter, and then you have to have people who understand that they are going to be without shelter until after they build it. You ain't just gonna drop a ready-made shelter. You can't.
Right.
And that's the question.
And that's going to take another 20 years. Look, and unless they leave at the same time with that shelter on another thing, it's going to take it 20 years to get to them. So they're going to go 20 years. They're going to get on the planet, and by the time they get ready to leave, if they stay there a year or two, they coming back 20 years.
I mean, just look at it this way. Look at how long it takes to build a house. They don't just build houses. They got to tap into a water supply, oxygen, perfect. You got to tap, but just to build a house. Let's say they got oxygen. Let's say Mars is comparable to Earth. Well, first you got to have piping for water, so you got to know where the water supply is. You got to know what type of materials won't degrade in that environment. You got to figure out where electricity is going to go, how to get it. Man, how is your generator going to work? Is your generator going to work off of fission? Is it going to work off of cold fusion? Just to build a normal house.
Right.
The materials it takes. Like, just imagine how Mesa grew. When it grew fast, but once they started putting up them housing developments, it takes 6, 7 months, 8 months to build a housing development in Mesa.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm using Mesa as an example because Mesa is desert and they don't have a lot of water there.
Hey, I know for a fact it's desert. Like, they building all type of stuff right around me, but it's taking some months to do it. But like Cowboy said, and I agree with that. We were just using Mars as an example because I don't think they're ever going. They think they can get life on Mars, but Mars is dead for some reason. It may have life before, and that's what you're trying to figure out. Okay, well, where did that life go, and why didn't none reciprocate back to life after us? Like they said, the flood. They said the dinosaurs. They said all this, but we came back. from what they say, there was people on before the flood, and then there was no people, and then there was people except for that was on the boat. Okay. You know
Hey
what I'm
man,
saying?
you arguing biblical facts, and we need to stay away from that. You know what I'm saying, for right now, because
I just want to say that though. I just want to say that part.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that if one group that got on that boat would have been homosexuals, it would have messed the whole thing up. And somebody not repopulating. So we're just gonna leave that one off the. How did you know? How did you know both of the giraffes was gonna be prepared to get down?
But you know, I have a different aspect. I think it was not in that literal way. Mm-hmm. I believe it was something that what's the smallest thing that you could put of everything on earth onto something? Wouldn't it be a just a part of a person? You know what I'm saying? Like you get me? I know I'm going out. I just seen it on my screen. I
didn't hear the question, man. Don't leave me.
Are we back?
Where I gotta talk for 5 minutes by myself. I'm running out of ideas. I changed my shirt, huh?
Yeah, I froze. I think you froze too.
I didn't hear you. You didn't get to finish your thought. I didn't hear it.
No, I was just telling you because we both froze. Okay. But I think that if you get the DNA or the gene of everything on Earth, mm-hmm. and you could put it in, it may make more sense that it was something that was a little extraterrestrial. We could take every DNA of a person. If you want to put the Noah's Ark, that it had everything on a boat, because whatever they did, they left out the dinosaur. But what I'm gonna do, we was talking about China launching that $1 trillion, what they call the sun. I don't know if you've seen the video or anybody else seen the video.
I saw it.
What you of it?
Listen, man, this is coffee. So when I say something weird, I'm not drinking anything but coffee.
Okay, let's look at it.
Go ahead.
Let's look at it and you can reply. Okay. What you say?
Where is it now?
Shit. They didn't say all that. I'm just saying. I just showed the picture of where it went.
Remember what I was telling you about earlier, Project Bluebeam?
Right.
That's what I think that is. For those
that's what you think?
Yeah, for those who don't know what Project Bluebeam is, to just put them up on game, the United States has been working on creating.
What's up with you, Stan? Archangel 7, Cowboy, Smiley Laundry. I didn't mean to cut you off there. I just wanted to get OG Steve. You know what I'm saying? I want to shout out everybody that came in and checked this out, man. Got a few videos. Hit the like button on your way out, man. Appreciate y'all. Subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends if this is what they like. But go ahead, Omar. My bad.
No, it's all right. So Project Bluebeam was something that the government created to create holograms that
get them, Jank. What's up?
And I would say, and I'm not talking about the type of hologram where they showed Tupac at Coachella one year. I'm talking about real holograms. You know what I mean? And it was an interesting program that they created
Right.
And if you read about the program, you'll see that they talking about they could simulate the second coming of Christ. They can simulate an invasion. They can simulate whatever they want to simulate. And the holograms look so real, you won't even know that it's a hologram. So, what are the implications of launching a sun? Well, the sun is one of the causes of our gravity, right? So I didn't go from 275 pounds to 475 pounds on that day. I didn't feel no different.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But see,
that means if you have a second sun, the implications would be there would be no nighttime for at least 3 days around the world. If you have a second sun.
Look, I bet you in about 2 days on this channel, I'm gonna have videos in that same area of UFOs. Mark my word. By the time we come back on next Tuesday, I'm gonna have some videos that they're gonna be UFOs because all they did was set off a nuclear, some kind of bomb, nuclear. I'm not nuclear, but atomic or whatever. They just had a different way of igniting it so it looked the way it did look. You understand what I'm saying? What I mean, and they got some type of technology that can transform whatever they just shot off. They can say it's a sun or whatever. They shot off something that may not be particularly good for the people, because wherever that went, unless it went up in the sky and kept going, that shit came back down. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it has to be, but okay. Again, yeah, it wouldn't be good for the people because you would have a radioactive signature that you'd be picking up on for days if it was a second sun. You know, and you're right. Like we discussed last Tuesday, everywhere there has been a UFO sighting at a military installation. A military installation is one that had nukes, and therefore the implication would be that the radioactive signature coming from the nuke would be the same radioactive signature that they pick up on. That may be their source of propulsion. Is something that they recognize. So your postulation would be correct. Postulation. What you are postulating would be correct. That we could surmise that yes, we would have something coming to check out the signal if that is what China really did.
Right. See, that's what, I seen, like I said, I seen the video. It just looked strange because it was on World Star.
Right.
Like,
was it on Good Morning America? I mean, I read about it. I seen a couple.
I believe it was. I just didn't get that article. I did it off.
You know what else is separating us from the news? One of the things separating us from the news is a lot of people have dropped cable and have gone with Fire Sticks and Roku sticks and
he's with you. He said it's a hologram. We're going to see more stuff like this going forward. That's right, Albar Torres. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would just have to say the implications. Kamari, you hit the AC for me? The implications of a second sun being launched.
I know that.
China. Hey man, you know what I'm saying? We'd be
right.
I need them to fess up to COVID-19 first.
Right.
Or you convince me, you know what I mean, that you shot a second sun up in the air. I mean, this ain't an episode of Dragon Ball Z. You know what I'm saying? We ain't talking about Super Saiyan powers. We talking about how hot would it be?
What I'm saying is, if it's not a hologram, right? Mm-hmm. What was it then? Just say if it wasn't a hologram, what was it then? You know what I'm saying? Because if that's the case, some more of these videos that I'm playing, you can also say are holograms. You know what I'm saying? We could use the hologram factor for a lot of UFO videos and just say that was a hologram in the sky. So
You can't.
If
You
it
can say that. You can say that. But here's the thing. Here's the difference. The difference is when people see UFOs and they record it. It's not. How do I say this? You got a means, medium, mode, and you got outliers. And most people who record the UFOs are outliers. The means would be
right,
a UFO in the sky at night. The median would be the number of people that just don't bother to look up. The mode
right.
would be having the opportunity to take a recording. The outlier is the small number of individuals that just so happen to have a phone ready or a recording device ready to capture it before it goes off. So for that to be a hologram, you would have to really know what area of people are quick on the draw with their camera or their recording device, and they always looking up in the sky and prepared. You see what I'm saying? That part
Right.
you can't control. You can't control. You know what I'm saying? You can't control who's gonna be able to record on site. You know what I'm saying? Just like we can't control if me and you in the store.
Right.
And 5-6 dudes want to get down. What I can control is the homie that I'm with. I'm with Goob. And me and Goob
Right.
walking out of the Circle K or whatever we walking out of. It's 5 dudes that want to get down. I can control. I know what I'm going to do. I can control. I know what Goob going to do because I'm
Right.
with Goob. What they don't know, what the 5 people don't know is what we prepared to do to get home to our families. You see what I'm saying? And so
right.
you see what I mean? So it's about having an understanding of who you with, who you around, who's looking up in the sky, who's ready to record.
Right. So I like Stan asked you, do you think we have the technology to go against the UFO? I feel we would be outclassed. I do too, Stan. I'm gonna answer that first. That's the problem that I do have on this, is because we make the movies that we always win. That's all I have to really.
Well, I'm gonna say it like I said. I think it was last week or the week before, the first time or the second time I was on. I think it was the second time I was on the show. That's like taking the NFL players who was wearing leather helmets and lighting the ass shoulder pads and throwing them out there to play a modern day football team because they won the Super Bowl in 47. Now, there wasn't a Super Bowl in 47, but you get what I'm saying. Just because you had a bomb team from 47 don't mean that they are prepared to play a team in 2022, because the team in 2022 got a totally different set of rules. They got a totally different set of equipment, and they gonna lay the hat on Leatherhead. You know what I'm saying? Leatherhead cannot go head up with somebody with that plastic molded hat on with the protection on the inside. He's gonna get ran over, and that team is gonna get skunked. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about that.
Okay. What Archangel said, he was saying something about the ozone in his last one. He said, and they're still busting holes in the ozone, so the gamma rays will be poisoning coming into the earth and the rays of the real sun. And we've been doing that every time we basically shoot something into space, we breaking through something. You know what I'm saying? Whatever's around us or whatever, we breaking through it to get out. Before they just launched the sun of space. Go ahead.
Archangel, I appreciate that you even remember the term ozone, because they don't even talk about the ozone layer anymore. That don't even come up in discussion, does it? No one has talked about the last time I heard anything about ozone was Ozone and Turbo, because I was trying to get my kids to sit down and watch Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo, and they wouldn't sit down and watch it because they thought it was corny. And when Turbo had when he had the broom up, you could see the string on his finger. when he was moving.
Oh.
I ain't heard ozone since trying to play that movie for my kids. But it's just like they taught me in school. I don't know if they taught you in school that Egypt wasn't in Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean Egypt's not in Africa? No, it's a part of the Mediterranean. What do you mean? What do you mean y'all didn't beat Rodney King? Yeah, you saw it, but you didn't see it. That's really how I feel. They Rodney Kinging us every time they tell us that these UFOs don't exist. You Rodney Kinging us. We saw you beat that man 100 times but that's not what you saw. You didn't see us beating. It was a trick of the camera. Come on, man. Just like and who was that? Who was that? That was China, who took a picture of what was supposed to be a base, and they came back days later and was like, it's a rock.
Yeah, right.
It's a rock.
I played that video when you hit me today and said that I just didn't have time to upload it up on the video of what we seen, and now what they trying to tell us.
Now they trying to tell us it's a rock. Y'all was talking about it was a base for a week. Oh, we analyzed the footage and it's a rock. The ozone layer is weakening greatly. There's another reason for sickness. You know what? You're absolutely right, Archangel. What I'm saying is that they don't even mention the ozone layer anymore. The moment they start talking about global warming, they stop talking about the ozone layer. And you would have to believe that the NO2 that's also eating away at the ozone layer is causing because space is radioactive. You know what I'm saying? You even if there was oxygen in space, you know, that was the hook breaking turbo ozone ice.
Look, Omar, not to cut you off because he put that up. I don't know if I ever told you this story, right? So I used to be going back and forth to L.A. to my grandmother's house. She stayed by MacArthur Park. So we used to always go by that car wash, you know, where they film car wash is right down the street from my grandmother's house.
Okay.
So at MacArthur Park, they used to have this dance place, a little club, teenage club. My cousin used to always go there, and he used to be breaking and doing all that, pop locking and all that. He was like, man, come with me one time. And that was the first time I seen, they filmed breaking in that building. That's what I'm getting at. That building that they filmed breaking in was the same building with the club. That's where we first seen Ice-T at. You know what I'm saying? But I had seen him a couple times. We believed he stayed in Hollywood or something because I used to see him rolling that gray Porsche all the time. But I just had to get that story up because of you was talking about breaking and he brings that up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, Archangel started it because every time I hear ozone, I think I immediately go to turbo and ozone. You know what I mean? Good times. You know what I'm saying? Because after that, people started really shooting. People were shooting.
He said Solomon's Temple built in Arizona. So since we got on that we got to Arizona, I got this next video that's coming up, and it's a bunch of orbs. But what you got to do is listen to it. I didn't take the audio out because the dude explained. I mean, the way he's talking, it was just funny to me. It might not be funny to everybody, but he thinks it's a bird for whatever reason. Let me see.
It looks like a hawk or something, but it don't look like a hawk. What the fuck is that?
Can you hear it, Omar?
Very little.
Let me see.
God damn it.
They're not really saying too much, but he can't keep his hands straight.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it.
But when he does get his hands straight, is weird. See him?
Yeah.
There it is. What kind of bird is that? It looks like drones in a way. They're not moving their wings now. They're right above us. I've never seen a bird like that. They're right above us now. What is that? What kind of bird are you? That looks trippy, bro. What the fuck is that?
You can barely see it, huh?
I know I can see it.
Yeah. But see how they're doing all them different maneuvers?
Well, we
And all that?
know it's not birds because birds normally keep the same pattern when they flying. They have a leader, and they don't change
Right.
patterns when they flying. It's survival for them. So yeah, they not about to mix things up like that.
See, they doing.
It's not balloons. It's definitely not balloons. It's definitely not weather balloons.
Right.
You can rule out flares because flares they not erratic like that. They just go, they just come down. Yeah, they are in formation, but they change in patterns. Birds don't change patterns. They normally keep one formation all the way through, and that's a survival tactic for them.
They're like on the camera. They're like glowing.
These things are they looking like Beyonce and her dancers at the Super Bowl. They
In
look like a
unison.
marching band on the field.
Yeah.
Don't beat me up, Beyonce fans. Don't come for me.
That's weird, bro. They haven't even moved their wings or anything yet.
Look how many times it's done Orion's belt formation.
What the fuck is that? Now they moved them. That's weird. They just now moved them.
See, look how many times it's doing it. It done did it. It's gonna do it again. The 3 and the 1, 2 at the bottom.
Are you filming them? Film them, bro.
You see?
Yeah, but they're not. I can't get a good thing on it.
And then they just disappear in the sky. He could see them, but the camera won't be able to. That's what's gonna get crazy. He can see them with his eyes.
That's weird, man. What the fuck is that, dude?
Okay, so
That was the weirdest thing.
let me just say that in Arizona,
I've never seen a bird do that.
they have.
Hold up.
Why were they circling the
What?
left, though?
Hold on. Before you say something, just listen to what he's saying. When the camera, you can't see the picture, he's gonna start explaining what he's seeing with his eyes, and his boy is gonna come in like, watch, because we can't see him no more.
But they're turning. Look at that. What the fuck is that? What is that? That is fucking trippy, bro. It's like they're right above the airport. I can't. Where'd they go? Oh, there they are. That's fucking trippy.
See, he gonna put his camera down, but you watch. You gonna hear what he's saying. What he's seeing.
There's another bird up there. They're coming back. See that? I've never seen a bird do that though. They're glowing in the light. See that?
He keeps saying it's a bird.
What the fuck is that? You see how they're spinning? Randy? Randy, you see how they're spinning? They're right here. They're right there. There was like another bird, like a hawk or something flying around them. But no, you see how they're glowing off the light? Look at that right there, the reflection. Birds don't reflect like that normally. But look how they're moving though. Yeah, they were flying their wings, but then they... I can't zoom in any further on this fucking thing, man. Bro, I'm tripping on that shit. What the fuck is that? I'm thinking, I don't know if it's a UFO or not, but... and Randy, sir, Native, not told y'all picture, buddy. Hey, man, we witnessing some fucking crazy shit, bro. It's still, but look how they're fucking moving though. They're following that one.
See, that's some crazy.
Look at that. The reflection out of it. They circled right above, but dude, they were coming this way. And when I started talking about it, they started circling above us, huh?
Yeah, I'm getting dizzy now, bro. I'm
You see what I'm saying?
You know, I see exactly.
I was letting you listen to what the things were doing from their point of view. You know what I'm saying? Because we couldn't see them no more, but they were still able to see them once they got out of camera range. And that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what's up there because they could be so high. It only take a glance to look up and you see something. You know, but we're so content on looking at everybody or looking down. We never take that time to do that.
So let's just for the people in the back that's going to hate. Let's just talk about this real quick. In Arizona, they fly Harriers. They have Harriers in Arizona. They have F-22s in Arizona, and they have F-16s in Arizona. They fly out of Luke Air Force Base, and they fly out of the Mesa Airport. They have space for the Harriers to fly about. And if you are going to like Santan sometime where the 202 ends and there's no freeway access, a Harrier landing will fly right over your head. So for people in Arizona, the reason why he would say birds is because you can hear the jets when they fly over. You can hear them before you see them. They make damn sure that the residents know that they eating up them taxpayers' dollars by sending them up in the air and wasting fuel. You know what I'm saying? For sure. So those weren't F-22s, those weren't F-16s, and those definitely weren't Harriers. Eliminate that. Okay?
Right.
They weren't balloons because they weren't descending or ascending. They were changing patterns. There was some type of intelligence behind them. Right?
Right.
Now, birds do have intelligence, but again, when birds fly in a pattern, usually for migration, they fly that way for survival. So they're not about to switch up who the leader is and change like a drill team and all that. So it's not birds.
Right.
So we know it's not a cloud. I mean, we just trying to.
Yeah. Yeah, he is, Monique.
We know it's not
Appreciate
a cloud. So we can eliminate all those. So now you have to leave.
Right.
You have to lay it on. What could it have possibly been? I don't think it would be. See, that wouldn't be something that you would make for Project Bluebeam, because Project Bluebeam, when you see it, like when you saw that sun go up, that was specific. You could see exactly what it was. When you watch certain YouTube videos with like ghost sightings and all that kind of stuff, you could tell CGI from something real, because CGI is always going to be grainy. It's always going to be somewhat pixelated, because they don't really want you to be able to tell that it's a CGI image that you're looking at, right? They want you to think it's fake. I mean, they want you to think it's real, so it goes by quickly. That was an aerial display. That was something showing off. You know what I mean?
And see, the thing about when they say like it's drones or something like that, these lights, drones have gotten specific and they can get lights sometime in that dime. they can't be specifically round. There's going to be some edges on some of them that's going to come out. You know what I'm saying? But these are round, spherical orbs, nothing coming out of anything on them. You know, drones, they're not made in balls. They're made with wings and propellers and all that. So that's why I don't believe it's when they say, "Oh, that could be some drones." Nah, if you look at them real good, that couldn't be no drones.
Right. But again, you have Luke Air Force Base in Arizona. You have Phoenix Sky Harbor. You have Mesa Gateway. That's 3 airports, and Arizona is not big. Arizona is not like California. You can get to the top if you are in Tucson, you can get to Flagstaff in 3.5, 4 hours. It's not like going from Pomona to Sacramento, which is going to take you 9, 10 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Arizona is small. So since we couldn't see the orientation, basically the direction that they was flying in, it's kind of easy to rule out drones because Arizona don't play with airspace. If those were drones, they would have to be a whole hell of a lot lower because you and I both know when those planes go overhead, like I said, you can hear them before you can see them. And Arizona's real tight about their air traffic and their airspace. So if it was going to be a drone, it would have been something that was a lot closer that would have gave him a whole lot better resolution on his camera. But since we can't see the orientation, north, south, east, or west, then we cannot really presume what airspace that it was in. But even to fly drones in Arizona now, you got to have, permission from air traffic control. You got to have, it's a whole bunch. You got to let the police department know. It's a whole lot of things going on. They really started cracking down on the drones. When the drones first dropped in the early 2010s, everybody could buy them in Walmart and Target, but you really don't see them anymore.
Is that why do you think AZ tripped more on airspace?
Because we have a airstrip on the way back to California in Goodyear. We have Phoenix Sky Harbor, which is right in Phoenix. That's in the middle. You have Mesa Gateway, which is basically between Mesa and Santan. You have Luke Air Force Base. You have another small airstrip going towards northern Arizona, like Sholo, up in that area. And Arizona is a small state. It is not big. If you go northwest, you're going towards Vegas. When you go towards Vegas, you hit Kingman. After you get through Kingman, which is small, you got another little airstrip up there. So it's not like LAX, which is super big, and then you go down the street and there's the Long Beach Airport, which is much smaller. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Ontario Airport, which is much smaller. But then you could bounce over to Anaheim, and Anaheim got that big Ronald Reagan Airport, which is much larger, but they not like LAX. You see what I'm saying? California is it's elongated. It's so stretched out, and it has a population so much larger than Arizona's population. You're not about to catch people once you see those drones go up in the sky. When a regular person throw a drone up to shoot a music video, that drone is going to be down. Shooting is going to be over with before authorities can respond to it. Because of population. Just like by population, Arizona, the state of Arizona only spends like $3 billion on law enforcement for the whole state of Arizona. That's LAPD's budget for the year. LAPD has a larger budget than for their police department than the whole state of Arizona for their highway patrol and state troopers. So that should tell you that by population, Arizona's just a much smaller place.
But what I was gonna say about the orbs is, if you heard dude, he said they're flying over the airport, right?
Right.
So that airspace of that airport, the tower or somebody should have seen or said something that those things are in our airspace. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
But we talked
So
about this last Tuesday. We talked about the incident at the Chicago airport where the dudes that was loading the bags onto the plane was like, we not loading. There's a UFO over the whole entire airport. I want to say it was O'Hare in Chicago. It's a UFO over the whole airport, and air traffic control was laughing like, we don't see nothing. We don't see anything. And they asked another group, did you see it? Oh yeah, we were all standing outside looking at it.
right, right,
And then they asked the
right.
pilots, and the pilots was like, "Yeah, we saw it."
Yeah,
But I mean,
but some
evasion radar. You know what I mean? Come on, it goes back to them leather helmets versus the 2021 NFL roster. You talking about radar, which has not changed. Radar has not changed since 1940. And you talking about people who are or entities that are capable of interstellar travel. If they don't want to be picked up on by radar, they will not be picked up on by radar.
right, right, and that's what the one in Chicago, because there was a recording. I should have had it and brought it up. I'll bring it up on next Tuesday because we spoke of it. But I heard the recording. It was a lady in a tower. It was a dispatcher hitting the person in the tower, and she was laughing about it. Do you see anything on 40? They say it's something like a UFO or something, huh? And dude was like, a UFO for real? You know what I'm saying? But the pilots is telling them, hey, it's something above us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They had baggage people tell them it's something above us, but they just didn't the radar system, and that's what I'm saying. They whatever it was, when dude was saying it went over the airport, they had a cloaking device that didn't the radar or anything like that. Because whatever's in our space, we only catching it on camera. Obviously, until they catch it on camera, they ain't gonna say nothing about it because they're not telling us.
Air traffic control is one of the most stressful jobs you can have. It pays good, but it don't pay good for that particular type of stress. Because if you mess up in air traffic control, cancel Christmas, nobody's eating, little Billy's not getting birthday presents or Christmas presents. They are under a lot of stress for that job. You know what I mean? Like being an air traffic controller, stress-wise, would be the equivalent of being a heart surgeon without making heart surgeon money. You know what I'm saying? You have people's lives in your hands. You can't screw up, and you work long hours. You got to be awake. You got to be alert. So some people just don't want to jeopardize their job like that, even if they do see it.
Right, right. Archangel said something. Another thing is last year the Navy and the Air Force said they're not saying that they don't see UFOs anymore to the government, and they will disclose for which one they have. Yeah, man, they should. You know what I'm saying? Instead of not telling people, that's the worst thing you can do. That's why I'm trying to be informative and let a motherfucker know. Some think it's a clown show, and all that, and that's fine. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? But like I'll say it every show we do. When you do see it, just say Goob and Omar said that shit. You know what I'm saying? Just say, hey, we said that shit. We told you. Hey, this next.
Have they ever denied it, or have they just refused to answer in the affirmative? Have they just refused to say, yes, we have it? I've never really heard them say, nah, we don't. Nah, y'all tripping. We don't have this. They just say, we can't give you that answer. You know what I'm saying? Or we don't know what it was.
Because they have
really heard them say, nah. And before you get into this next trip, I gotta say in front of can we just poll our audience real quick? Would you guys like to see Goob and I take a road trip?
Precise. The crop fields. Go ahead.
Yeah, the precision of the crop circle fields is what she's probably saying.
Right.
So.
But go ahead.
Would you guys like to see us take the Goob show on the road to Roswell and go to the Air Force Base and do a show from there, from the crash site? I don't know how many black people there are out there, but I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure we can handle ourselves
To
once
go
we
out
got
there.
there.
Oh, they good. They UFO enthusiasts too. They can't be that crazy. You understand?
No, they can't be that
So
crazy.
I know
But
I'm good. It's like,
you can be a UFO enthusiast and be racist. You know, you can be both. You know what I'm saying? See, because
Right.
I'm one of the people that says if you got a whole planet full of gray people, if you got a whole planet full of gray people,
Right.
then they would just be in all coming here seeing black people, white people, Asian people, brown people, red people. Can you just take a second to think about that? If every civilization, reptilians are all greens, the grays are all gray. If I was
Right.
coming from someplace else, I would just marvel at the variety of people that they see, which puts the emphasis on humankind having something that other civilizations don't have.
Right.
Because we haven't heard of. Now, I do get tired of hearing about the tall whites in the Nords. Oh, who are the Nords? Oh, they are a benevolent group of aliens. They're the smartest aliens of all the alien races, and they have blonde hair and blue eyes, and they're tall and they're white and they're gorgeous, and they're the
Right. Right.
smartest, most enlightened. Like, come on, man, for real.
Right.
Y'all call them the Nords? Yeah, because they look like they're from Norway. What do they look like again? Blonde hair, blue eyes. And they smarter than everybody? Yeah, they're like gods. Everybody worship them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Oh, okay. You see, it's flipping. It's flipping what our sister Monique said. It's flipping the understanding of Kemet, land of black soil, land of the black people, Akibulan. You know what I'm saying? It's flipping our interstellar lineage
Right. Right.
to promote another interstellar lineage. And if you want to use create a false narrative that another individual or another group that looks like you is more enlightened than the group that you know exists that look like us, because there's signs of it all over the planet that's over 5,000 years old,
Right.
then go ahead and shoot your shot. You know what I'm saying? Just shoot your shot. I'm not mad at you. If I got an old lady, we in the store, and I'm going to get the hot dog buns, and she in the frozen food aisle, I am not mad at a person for shooting a shot. If you can get her to go the other way,
Right.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying? But shoot your shot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shoot your shot. And I think that we should have the ability to shoot our shot. Let us talk to people. Let us talk to who's coming to our planet. Because at the end of the day, government is a facade. Your title is just a title. But if somebody comes here talking about we about to blow your whole ball of dirt up, you being president means nothing to me anymore. I got to take care of mine.
Right.
I'm not going to listen to Joe Biden if 150 crabs come down and say we about to take everybody out, and then Joe Biden come on the news telling me what to do. He's the last person I'm listening to.
Right. Right.
I don't
Right.
care. You
That's
you're
real
not president
shit.
no more. Not
See,
at
and
this point.
That's why I used to get, I like to look at all UFO type movies. You know what I'm saying? But the basis that we always win, you can keep that faith if you want to. But man, they coming to us. If they
Right.
coming to us and we don't even know where they coming from,
Right.
know nothing. You know what I'm saying? We know nothing. Like, where the did these motherfuckers come from? What type of technology they have over us?
And you gave us
Man.
you gave the men that look like me, generations before me, that joined your military, syphilis just because you could. You took the uterus of black women just because you could. You sent us over to die just because you could. You used our babies as alligator bait just because you could. And I'm supposed to take your word for it? Nah, I'll pass, homie. You know what I'm saying? I'll pass. I'll pass.
What you call it? Archangel say, like Sugar Free say, if I can get your girl to stand up, then I can get her to do anything. And that's how they can get us to do anything.
Right.
Real shit.
You know, the one thing you don't want is a woman that go the other way. You know what I'm saying? But if you go the other way, she ain't your woman. That's really what it is. And vice versa for the ladies.
Hey,
man
let me get in.
Way, he ain't your man. I don't want to get shot by nobody. We talking about aliens right now, but what I do know is real is a Glock 9, and I ain't trying to get taken down.
I'm bringing in this other one. That was still going on because dude didn't stop talking. But this one was in, I think I played it the other day. This was in Orange, South Carolina. And somebody took it from a nice distance, but they blew it up so you can get a closer look to it. But, you know, it's just strange how the red lights is following right behind it. But it's so far away. That's why when they give the close-up, you can see it just a little bit more, but...
Yeah, that's nice footage right there.
Yeah, see how the red lights behind it?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is the red lights? That ain't no plane that we know.
No. Wait. Go back.
Okay, this was the other next video that I was gonna bring up. In Columbus, Ohio, it's the little orbs that's just floating in the sky. That's, I guess, they little party music or whatever they got going on while they looking at it. But if you can see it, it's a little red light. So I thought the people was next to a freeway. Now this one is the triangular UFO that came up on New Year's, and this is the little write-up that was in the news about what dude seen. You know what I'm saying? So dude catches this video on his, it must be his ring or something that's on his door, and turned it in. But as you can see, it's with cloaking abilities. Returns to Earth after New Year's Eve. Where there it is. And this is what they call the TR3s. That's why you see a lot of it in the 3. I always talk about the 3, the Trinity. You know what I'm saying? But this is from my boy Secure Team 10. But see how they move in formation
and really that appears to be one object.
Right. That's why they call it the TR3.
Yeah.
It's one object with 3 lights underneath it. You know what I'm saying?
You can see it because you can see the outline, the dark outline between the lights. You can actually.
Right, and this was caught on their ring or something like that.
But you know what's beautiful about this type of footage are the landmarks. You could clearly see a tree, and you could clearly see it going between the trees.
Right.
You could clearly see a light post.
And then I'm going to come back to that one. But yeah, those are, the few videos, those are just in January. from, the last few days, like up to the 9th, I think it was. I have a few more recent ones, but I guarantee you, if China sent off that, whatever they sent off in that sky, eventually in a couple days, it's going to be somebody showing a video of some UFOs around that site in that area.
I mean, again, it's always can be up for debate because we could debate anything. There's people that will debate you right now that Tupac is alive.
Right.
And
for sure.
I hate to break it to you, but he's not. You know what I mean? And I'm a Tupac fan. You know what I mean? But when people do whole videos talking about he alive, it bothers me. You know what I mean? As a person who knew or who knows Suge ain't dead yet, who knows Suge, and some of the other people from there it just seems a little disrespectful to me, to monetize off of people's feelings.
Right. Hey, Goob with it. Let me see what Arcade. The chance YouTube Gaia George Norrie be on there also. It's one side of his production. Okay, I have to check it out, man. I used to look at him when I used to do Graveyard at Coca-Cola. Man, I used to be on that forklift with him in my ears, have my headphones on, and listening to him, man. He has some good guests. Because I've been a believer in this so long, you know what I'm saying, that, hey, I'm going to continue to do it. I like it. If I can get videos out and get one person influenced to believe the same thing so you won't panic when they do come, because I ain't going to be able to stop them when they do come. You can shut me down all day long, but eventually they come. You know what I'm saying? They've been coming and they're going to continue to come. I had another video. Have you ever looked on Google search? And I mean Google Maps and just search down streets and shit? Have you ever did that? Mm-hmm. This dude was doing that, searching down the street, right? Mm-hmm. And something came up in the Google search. And it's crazy what it looks like, Google search. And I'm going to go with it. This is a Google search. He's just searching some homes. He looks up, and this is in the Google search in the sky. But see, he's on the street. But when he moves a little bit, it seems to move or turn. See it? It looks like a little triangle or whatever.
Yeah.
And it seemed like they tried to block it out in some frames. But look, it's in the sky again. It seems to have some words or something on it. Seems like something's coming down from it. But it's unexplained. I mean, it's just in the Google Street search. That's the car driving down the street.
And again, he wasn't expecting to see that, right? You know that, and that's what I mean about the outliers. You don't expect to see this stuff. You can't just, there's nobody that's going to sit up there and go, I'm going to digitize a UFO in this footage and make this guy see it as he's looking at houses. Right. Come on, man. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's crazy how the whole triangle. When he goes down, I think this block, he goes down a little farther, and you're not going to see it because this is the cameraman doing it. Security team just got the footage from the guy, and he's just going off with the guy, how the guy is videotaping and what he's doing. This is not security team doing it himself. Somebody sent it in to him. But when you go down the street a little bit more, it's not in the picture. It's like they, because Google has to basically stitch everything together. When they going down the street, that car is just recording and doing wherever they have little spaces in between that car doing something, they got to stitch all that together. But you can surely see.
Let me just tell you. let me just remind, since this is like a good chance to bring it up again. Um, like I said, when I
Okay,
was
let me stop because this is a different video. So
when I was at ITT for electronic engineering, before I learned that the school was just kind of whatever. I don't want to go into that. But TRW was hiring people to work on the cameras for satellites, and they were hiring students, that were
right,
taking electronic engineering, and
right,
that was way back in the mid to late '90s that they were working on these cameras to go ahead and take imaging of houses, and they even have, dare I say, cameras that can take imaging inside of houses. If you put that on infrared, you can easily go through a ceiling and look at a person walking around in the shower, looking at their body heat signature.
that's
Um,
cool. That's cool. Arc, hold on one second. It's cool, Archangel. You was on his show, George Norrie show. I had to get the episode, man, so I can listen to it.
yeah. Hey man, I've been trying to keep up right now with Ark and Monique's conversation. It's like we're gonna have to bring them on as guests one day because they got a
What is that?
whole
The
conversation
Galactic.
going on. That's
Yeah, I was gonna bring it up, but you were talking.
oh my
It
bad.
cuts off
I'm a
sometimes. No, it cuts off.
politician.
No. I listen. That's why I like what you're saying, bro. I don't want to cut you off in form putting up this because you'll stop what you were saying. So you know what I'm saying. I wanted to let you speak and bring it up. I hadn't seen, but they were saying like the Galactic Federation checks all that. The Watchers. Joaquin said it in another 100 years from my sky closing and I'm going to die with my eyes open. The Watchers. Yeah, that's true, man. Like I say, I hope I can open eyes to different people, man. It may not get there now. They may think I always say they think it's silly. They think it's crazy. They think whatever. But I'm going to continue on my purpose of doing what I'm doing. I got my homie with me.
Right.
That speak the same way as me, then we gonna run this up. We gonna run it up. You know what I'm saying? We gonna make a believer out of you. You know what I'm saying? One person at a time.
Right.
You know?
And I have a problem with if with like for some reason black people we do this one or the other. It's either Michael or Prince. How about both? I can't like them both. You know what I'm saying? It's either
Right.
Tupac or Biggie. How about both? I can't like them both. I mean, everybody else, you don't see people debating Santa Claus and Jesus sharing the same day.
That's the same ship you was showing at night. The masked ones. Oh no, the masked ones was that was a different video. The one I just shown with the masked ones, I got a couple of masked ones. But these are the newer ones that came out this year. So these aren't repeat videos of older ones. The masses one was from last year, but I have the video of that one as well. But what were you saying?
No, I was saying if Christians can believe that Jesus and Santa Claus can share a day. If you could believe that Jesus and Santa Claus can share a day, then black people can definitely believe in two things at one time. You can't sit up here and just say, I'm a Christian, so these things in the sky are just demons. You've never seen a demon. You don't even know when demons was the whole ideology of demons when it was created. You have no concept of that. You know what I'm saying? So if we could say, yeah, there's a divine entity, a divine intelligence, absolutely. And he's so divine and intelligent that there's no way in hell he created one ball and put people on one thing and made them all look just like him. You know what I'm saying? If you that divine and that intelligent, you are going to have species everywhere because life is what you are about. The creator. He's the creator because he creates life.
Right.
It doesn't have to necessarily look like us. So to sit up here and say something else coming from someplace else can't be pure, it got to be evil. It got to be. Come on, man. Why does it have to be that? You not walking around talking about Santa Claus is evil. You buying a tree. You buy a tree every year that has nothing to do with Jesus. And then you put presents that have nothing to do with Jesus under that tree. And then you do a Colin Kaepernick and you take a knee to that tree that has nothing to do with Jesus. but we're going to put the Christ back in Christmas, as they say. Well, Christ, you can't put the Christ back in Christmas because Christ don't have nothing to do with Christmas. See, we get to arguing these points. We get like, oh man, y'all Negroes is on there tripping. Oh man, y'all talking about stuff don't nobody want to talk about, man. Y'all crazy, y'all tripping. We not crazy, we not tripping. We just trying to get you to broaden your horizons because you still, you know what I'm saying? Buy your kids some stocks and put it in a shoebox and throw it under a tree. Let them open it up thinking they about to have some Jordans and they see some stocks. You know what I'm saying? They see that they got some ownership in a business. You know what I'm saying? Do something like that. You know what I mean? If you want to be fruitful and multiply and make progress, you know what I'm saying? We got to change our whole way of thinking. It can't just be who is better, Prince or Michael. Oh, man, you know, Kobe had never touched Michael Jordan or LeBron had never touched. That is a con game, and it's a long con to get us black people to not support all the black people that are doing positive things. You know what I'm saying? You got so many people, I'm on Team Prince and not on Team Michael, that they not going to buy Michael stuff. The Michael people ain't going to buy Prince stuff. The Bron people ain't going to buy Kobe stuff. The Kobe people going to boo LeBron when he come to L.A. and burn his jersey when he come to L.A. And he came to L.A. out of respect for Kobe Bryant. You see what I'm saying? We need to be running up the score for everybody in public that makes us look good as a people. Run up the score. Subscribe to the Goob show. Let's run up the score. You know what I'm saying? We got anybody that's not talking about death and telling people to go out and kill people. Anybody that's a bona fide father, if you see him in the streets, you know he being a father. Run up the score.
Yeah, because they've
been running the score up on us for 400 years with a foot on our neck. My bad.
I want to say that's all right. You know, they need to hit that like button on their way in out. Get him, Jank. He said nowhere in the Bible does it say he stopped making people on after Earth. I don't understand that statement.
No. Nowhere in the Bible does it say that after he made people on Earth, he didn't make people nowhere else. I understand. I get it.
Right. That's the point that I was saying. Earth is probably listen, it's not after Earth, it's before Earth. Because we got to be one of the youngest planets in the galaxy. So it would be assumed, right?
But religion put its foot in its own mouth when it said God made man in his own image. And when you say God made man in his own image and you show up with somebody else, you kind of got to explain that.
Right. What's up with you, sir, Uncle Buck? Appreciate you stopping through.
Uncle Buck. Hey, man, I really appreciate you pull up his comments, always positive. I appreciate that. I can appreciate the positivity, man. You know what I'm saying? Because Monique came on here and was like, is that Omar Bradley's son? Monique, you have no idea how many times that goes bad for me.
She said heaven and hell. She been saying some good shit on the UFO thing. She wasn't just asking that, but she did ask that. But
hey, listen, man, I know some brothers who's still paying child support on a kid that was 18 years ago that will agree with you.
Right. Look, this other one was more strange. It looks like an older video, right? But it's a guy that did the video, and he didn't want to be identified when he made the report and gave the video. And it's this one, but this one looks way, they give a close close up on it, if you can see it right there. And he has like a digital camera or something, but look how it looks with the things coming down. Look like legs or poles or something.
Man,
we can't. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody took a picture of that with a Palm One Treo.
Right.
That somebody
you know
used a BlackBerry to take a picture of that. That was not a Nokia.
Right. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying it's an old video.
Mm-hmm.
But it ended up in the newspaper. And I'm not sure how many witnesses actually seen it, but he didn't want to be identified when he gave up the picture. And this other one, I want to get to that robot. This is what I want to get to, right?
Okay.
Before we ended this, I want to get to this robot.
All right.
This robot right here was made with the artificial intelligence and all that. I've kind of paused it. But if you look at it, it has the most amazing movements.
Mm-hmm.
Almost human. See how it can frown and do all that?
And it's rocking.
But But what happens is this dude, which is the maker of it, was pointing his finger in his face. He had never did anything. He grabbed for his hand like, fool, get your finger out my face. And this is the news report. I'm going to slow it down and say this video shows an indication test conducted with an engineer, arts American humanoid. Hold on, let me put it up a little bigger so you can see it. From its eye cams are processed using the tensor, and American reacts to things at a different spice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's crazy about it is his facial expressions when he does it. So I'm gonna let it just play through. See him? That motherfucker, like, he had never done that before. You know what I'm saying? It came up in the news. This freaks out. Excuse me. Responds to human waving finger in his face. But look at the expression on his face while he's doing it. See how he look like he's smiled? And watch his eyebrows. Like,
yeah.
Fool, what the fuck? And then his eyebrows go down and that motherfucker grab him. Like, hold on, get your hand out my face. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, but that's what they making now. And then watch when he looks up. His whole expression. See the little knotted thing? It goes away. See the little thing on the top of his forehead?
Yeah.
You know, like we would have when we scrunch. Yeah. Watch how it goes in. And watch how it releases when he looks up. Like he just changed his expression like, okay, back to normal. Man, that's some crazy shit. That's that new technology. You know what I'm saying? See how he just looks up normal.
Yeah. I have a question.
You know what I'm saying? So
I have a question.
Let me get this out. Go ahead. Yeah, I just had to show that. That was crazy to me. I doubt that at all.
Okay, so I'm not impressed.
Yeah. No, you know what it was? You know what it was? I didn't end the video, but it's the same thing as this. I'm going to go to the end of the video, watch, and you'll understand what I'm saying. This is... Right?
Right.
The humanoid... what the fuck? Right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What was that? Yeah, the Terminator type shit.
Terminator, yeah, absolutely.
But that's what we getting to. Get him Jake say a robot like a motherfucker. That's just scary. Because, I looked at, just a reminder is the Will Smith movie.
iRobot.
iRobot. You know what I'm saying? When they start doing all the robot things and I mean, it's a strange time, with all being seen in the sky, with this technology that we gaining so quick. The things that they...
So with artificial intelligence, here's where I have a problem with it. Artificial intelligence cannot think as fast as the human brain. No way. Not when the human brain has its dexterity. The human brain, it expands and creates pathways to learn new things. However, because our society has created an environment where we need substances, whether it be alcohol, cigarettes, weed, oxycodone, oxycontin, hydrocodone, things like that. What we know to be true is that those affect the dexterity of your brain, your neural pathways. So if you have an artificial intelligence, it's going to try to eliminate you for the good of yourself. That's the only direction it could go in. Oh, you're in pain. Or you are going through something. You need that weed, you need the cigarette, you need the cigar, you need the alcohol, you need the pain medication when your back is hurting. Artificial intelligence will never need that, but artificial intelligence will never be able to process as fast as our brains if our brains are in their peak condition, ideally. You know what I'm saying? You will always be able to outthink a robot. You can't out-concentrate a robot. You can't out-concentrate a robot because when a robot is given one task, it can focus on that task, which is why a robot can beat you in chess, because you cannot, as a human, focus on playing chess. Your brain is eventually going to go to something else. I got to pee. I got to hurry up and get this game over with. You know what I'm saying? Do I got to hurry up and get home? Your brain cannot process focusing on one task. And that is because the brain is complex and it has all of these senses. The brain is actually in the dark. Your brain can't see anything. Your eyes see, your hands feel, you see what I'm saying? Your skin feels, your mouth tastes, your nose smell, your ears hear, and all those things are tied into the brain, but the brain is actually sitting in the dark. So we can't, because we have all of these other senses, we can't just focus on one task. Because the moment we smell something, damn, somebody baking cookies. The moment we smell something, damn, somebody got good weed. The moment we smell something, damn, somebody done bought that garbage, and I know it ain't nothing but stems and seeds in it. People should have a medic card right now. They should not still be smoking that backyard trash. We focus on other things because that's how our bodies are made. Robots can't feel. They won't really be able to understand what touch is. They can only respond and react. So a robot's focus, their ability to focus, makes it appear that they can outthink us because they don't have those extra sensory perceptions that we have, that we need in order for us to survive. They can just be like, oh, you need me to type a paper? I'm going to type a paper. You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about, is my show going to come on while I'm in the middle of typing this paper? You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about, do I need to get up and go to the bathroom? Do I need to think about, do I need to go pick up my kid? Is my kid going to need to eat? They don't have to do those things. And that's why, oh, thank you, Monique. I appreciate you. And thank you, Uncle Buck. I see you. So what we have to do is we have to understand that what we put into our children is we need to make sure that any generational curse that was put into us, we have to remove if they gonna stand a chance to battle anything that has a fresh start, because cells have memory. If cells didn't have memory, then your daughter's eyes wouldn't be exactly like yours. Your son's eyes wouldn't be exactly like yours. The way your son and your daughters respond to BS when BS come that way, it ain't just because they seen how you respond to BS. It is genetic. Cells have memory. So what we have to do is we have to remove generational curses, the things that we refuse to believe in that we see, so that our kids can have a chance to survive, because it is a generational curse to not believe in anything greater than you other than God. That is so misinformative. That means that when God come, When God come, you ain't even gonna know it's him because you've been told what God is and how to recognize God by other men. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
now we are trying to play God. We trying to play God while we got people coming here telling you what the truth
Right.
is. So what do we do? What do we do if we face a threat? If we have entities that come here that are not friendly, and we have artificial intelligence that we can say, okay, we're gonna put y'all to the task to deal with these unfriendlies. Man, them
Right.
artificial intelligence, they can't win because everything that they learn and know they get from their creator.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So we have to be careful about what we do and what we put into our children and into our grandchildren because we already know the enemies that we can see. But the enemies that we can't see, you know the rules of the hood. It's the punch that you don't see coming that knocks you out. It don't have to be hard. It's just the one you
Right.
don't see. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A brother going to jail.
Right.
Which one would you rather be? Would you be a person that know, okay, today's the day I got to turn myself in, or would you be like to be the person that's driving down the street, get pulled over, and got to go to jail? Those are black men and women's options right now in America. That's how they treat us. You either
Right.
walking knowing that you got to go turn yourself in later on that day, or you gonna get arrested and you gonna miss your movie date. You know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna have to go in. There's pros and cons to both of them. If you get pulled over and arrested for a warrant, you can't call your girl and tell her, "Hey, baby, I'm gonna miss the movie. I got pulled over." But if you got to go turn yourself in, your whole family knowing they could prepare for it. But both of those are bad,
Right.
and that's where they got us right now. They got us in that position where we can either turn ourselves in or get arrested going to the store.
Right. See, like I say, that's why I believe there's a difference coming. Because the higher ups is believing they can do what they want to do, like China. They can shoot off whatever they shot up in the sky. Like I say, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have some videos of them seeing something around it, because we gonna mess up this whole planet.
Right.
The way we going, and I don't think whatever's coming to us is trying to tell us that we fucking up this planet. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We not listening because we not believing, and the government ain't telling. You know what I'm saying? They only telling if a crash come. They not trying to find out why it came here. They trying to look for the technology that it got in it, so they can advance their technology. But no matter how much you advance your technology, you still not going to be able to fight them in a fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know.
You're absolutely correct. You know, and how do I put this without sounding stupid? You know, and I'm gonna step off of that and just come back to it later. I'm gonna step off of that and just come back to it later. You know what I mean? Because I don't know how to say it without sounding, you know what I'm saying, kind of out of pocket with it. So I'll just keep that thought for another time, because I'm sure something will come up where it will be more appropriate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For the time being. You know what I'm saying? Like okay, I'll say it. The purpose of a government is not to protect and secure the people or to provide the people with long lives. People die every day. The point of a government is to secure and prolong and protect the government. You see what I'm saying? That's why they don't care about insurance premiums going up. That's why they don't care about who died in a car wreck, because people die every day. People have to die. There's a cycle of life. What governments prepare for is the length of the government. And as long as that government is intact, then they know their society will remain in place. What good is making a fighter jet that can go Mach 8 times the speed of sound, if I have a computer that ensures that your jet don't even start,
Right.
why should I build a jet? And that's what we arguing with the individuals that are visiting this planet and the technology that they have. Why would I be concerned with how fast your jet goes if my technology ensures that your jet doesn't even get off the ground?
Right.
Now, we as human
Right.
beings are entitled to know that there is something out there that for the dummies that really believe that the F-22 came out in 1993. They did 1990. They did the F-22. 1997, they did the F-35. Those are the two premier jets that are flying right now, but they came out 30 years ago. The technology came out 30 years ago.
I appreciate you, Get 'em Jank, for stopping through.
Good night, brother.
Catch you on the next one.
Yeah. And how do you, no, they're not going to care about an F-22 or an F-35 if they can shut it off the same way they shut off them nukes back in 67 when they just flew over the base and just turned them off. So Elon Musk didn't want to drop a nuke on Mars all he want to. But if there's somebody that can hit a button, we saw the footage. I don't even think you played the footage yet of the UFO flying past SpaceX. You know what I'm saying? You didn't play that yet.
No.
Come on, man. You could want to put a nuke all you want to, but if there's somebody that's gonna turn that nuke off and make sure it don't explode, why are we even discussing it? Did you cue that up? Do you have that one?
I'm finna do it right now.
All righty.
But go ahead. You can finish.
I mean, that's just we know that they got evidence of it. They've talked to soldiers about it. Yes, they turned off the nukes. They flew over the base and they turned off the nukes. They flew over multiple bases and turned off the nukes. So why would they be concerned with how fast your jet can go around a ball of dirt? Which really, Earth is Greek for dirt. The name of the planet is Asia. That's the name of the planet that we walk on. Earth is the name of the soil that we walk on. We walk on Earth, the dirt. The name of the planet is Asia. And we need to really, start pushing that line. Oh man, they over here talking about Curtis Mayfield. We love Curtis Mayfield too. Let's see. They
Curtis Mayfield was a GOAT.
Curtis Mayfield was a GOAT. Curtis Mayfield was indeed a GOAT.
He said, I love OGK with people who are darker than blue. Listen to that song. Okay, yeah, so I guess it's telling art. I guess it's a song because they were talking about Jimi Hendrix.
I saw
one song, The Watchtower.
All along the Watchtower.
Yeah, I guess he speaks on that type of shit in that song. But it was past the what? SpaceX, right?
Yeah. It passed SpaceX.
Oh,
we're gonna have to be careful, Goob. They're gonna have a show. They got the whole content jumping off. I'm really interested in what they typing right now. I'm reading it, y'all.
What's that?
Monique and Archangel's conversation. I'm reading it. It's good.
He said those orbs happen to be within the inner Earth also. We have been surrounded for many years now. We are the precipice, please. If you can watch the day of the Earth stood still and watch it good. Okay. Yeah. I mean, they've always put it in movies. You know what I'm saying? They've always put it in movies.
Right.
Shit that they've seen. And that's the way of telling us, but slowly telling you.
Even Battle Los Angeles is loosely based on when Los Angeles they were shooting up in the sky at some UFOs and hit nothing. You know what I'm saying?
And hit nothing.
Yeah.
Right off Santa Monica.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they shot 1,000. It was like either 1,000 to 1,100 shells at something in the sky and didn't hit nothing.
Nothing.
And that's what the movie was based off of.
And legend has it, that's why when we in Los Angeles, we shooting the air now for New. Just kidding. They be going off. It's 3 days that you don't want to be in Los Angeles: New Year's, 4th of July, and the World Cup. If Mexico win the World Cup, they shooting all night. It's going up. New Year's, they shooting all night. 4th of July, they shooting all night. You know what I'm saying? The World Cup is over.
All right, this is the video right here.
Yeah.
We can't hear it. Can you hear me?
Boom. Boom.
See, it's going so fast.
But you can see it clearly. Now, what are they going to say? That's a rock.
It's going to slow down just a little bit. I'm not sure why the volume isn't on it. But there it go right past it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They can say
straight line.
Whatever they want to. But that was something weird that shot past there. And they they don't know what it is.
Not at all.
Saying?
Not at all. And it was doing a Han Solo. It flew right between. It flew right between SpaceX and the docking station on the space shuttle. I mean, I'm sorry, on the space station.
Straight through it. And they know if that would have hit anything going at that speed, it would have tore whatever it was. If it was just some space junk or something.
Right.
Man, if that would have hit the space station or the space docking station.
Space junk hits gravity and just whirls around and spins out. There's no space junk that's gonna go away from the Earth and fly towards the space station and ironically go between the space station and SpaceX. What I can say though is those are some bad unis they wear for SpaceX though. Them unis, uniforms that they get them astronauts, those are some nice unis. They look better than the bubble gear that them dudes wearing back in the 80s. I mean, just to me. Them is some clean unis.
They getting better technology.
They getting better technology.
They better get better technology. Hey, well, we've been on here almost hours, man. I appreciate you, Omar. Like I say, this is gonna happen every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have a discussion on something different. And keep it moving. Of course, I'm gonna have videos all the time. I may be bringing up a video in a couple days with the couple videos that I have that's came in the last week or so that I didn't have time to load up. But I'm just going to do that probably video without going live. But we're going to always have this done on Tuesday. I appreciate everybody that came in. Monique, Archangel, Yaya, Sir Uncle Buck, Get 'em Jank. I'm looking through the.
Hey, and just let me say, we had really no technical challenges tonight, man. I appreciate it. We went off without a hitch. It was a beautiful thing.
Oh yeah.
It's the Target shirt that they, gotta be wearing less assuming stuff. But it's a beautiful show. We went off without a hitch. We stayed on point. People engaged in the conversation. It's a beautiful thing, and I greatly appreciate what we had jumping off, bro. You know what I mean? Next Tuesday. I mean, I'm gonna be doing homework, sending you more stuff. That's how I go.
Same time, same bat place. We'll get this cracking. We'll have something different, man. Y'all like, share. Subscribe to a nigga channel, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I say always, it's the weirdest channel on YouTube, but it's definitely gonna get better. Bernie Smith, appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to have more videos, more conversation. And once again, Omar, I appreciate you.
Thanks for coming out.
Peace
God
out.
bless. Peace and good night.
All right.
Ain't that
All
what
right.
you say? All right, dog.
All right, later. All right, so that's it. Thanks to Omar. Shout out to Mona people. Free my nigga Yahui, my nigga Huff, D Capone, Lil Dre, Dead Eye Tim, anybody else that's locked up that I may not know about. Until the next time, peoples, instead of looking straight, instead of looking down, look up sometime. You may see something. Peace out.